Hello everybody and welcome to the Character Collection Series Part 5. This time we are unlocking all characters in Zexal World or Seal or whatever it is. I call it Zexal and I'm sorry if that bothers you. First we have to unlock the world itself by summoning 2 level 4 monsters in one duel, which at DM stage 9 should not be a problem anymore. I feel that besides DM and 7th world, this is the easiest and probably fastest unlock of all the worlds. Our starting character is of course Yuma and Astral I guess, but for simplicity's sake I stick with Yuma throughout this entire video. Already one character that can be ticked off. Bronk is unlocked at stage 6 if Yuma beats him, summons 5 warriors and XYZ summons 3 times. One XYZ monster I frequently summoned against standard duelists was Yuma's ace number 39 Utopia, which is added to his extra deck with a starting skill and happens to be a warrior. So all that's left is to beat Bronk as Yuma. Good news number 1, there is no hidden character. Good news number 2, the final character is basically given to you for free, a trend ArcV and Rain's World picked up on as well. Good news number 3, there aren't nearly as many characters to unlock as in the previous worlds, and good news number 4, the missions are by no means impossible but fair and doable. See, Bronk wasn't tough at all. With him and Yuma unlocked, we have 11 characters left as of now. Dumon's event is going on right now, but no event characters for us because I think that would disturb the guideline sort of nature I'm trying to accomplish with these videos. The next character we have to go for, or that we want to go for, is actually Reginald. Or Reggie, or Reg. You can call him anything. Yuma beats him 3 times, summons number 39 against him and beats him with it. We activate a quick play spell against him and collect 5 water monsters. That sounds reasonable. As was the case with Bronk, they don't want you to beat him at a certain level, and that means we can get all 3 duels in against him at level 10. As I tend to do with multiple duel missions, I'm only showing one of them in which I hope to summon number 39 off of Yuma's starting skill. Activate a quick play spell card like Gravity Lash or Arrival Rival and let number 39 take his last life points. Assuming we already got 2 duels in against Shark, this one will give us 4 of his 5 unlocked missions. When it comes to collecting 5 water monsters, I got a few as rewards after duels against Reg. If you stage up this world to 6 before unlocking Mako in DM World, his starter deck will give you plenty of water monsters. You could also level up characters in other worlds like Gavin Zogetsu, who, for example, will provide you with copies of Blue Falcon Tango. Buying structure decks or card packs also helps, and you could even spend some of your normal or rare tickets. With Reginald unlocked, we will be able to get at least 2 more characters in this world, Rio and Quattro. I say at least here because I am uncertain in the top of my head. Another character integral for upcoming character unlocks is Kite Tenjo, so I want to unlock him next. Kite especially needs to summon a certain monster that I don't yet have, so that's going to be fun, I guess. Yuma comebacks him at level 30, XYZ summons twice in one duel against him, beats him with 1000 or less life points remaining, and destroys him in 7 turns. To top it off, we collect 3 light monsters. The only mission that isn't so great is the comeback. Everything else can be done while half asleep. We can XYZ summon twice in that duel, so that's okay. And if we dare, we could even go down to 1000 life points. Winning in 7 turns can easily be done against him at level 10. I would describe level 30 Kite as an interesting opponent who I'm better not underestimate. Especially his Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon caused a lot of issues in the past, mainly because it can dodge my battle traps and attack point modifiers. If you can banish it before the battle phase, for example with Karma Cut or number 70, Malevolent Sin, it is not that dangerous anymore. Alternatively, plant a strong monster on the board that is unaffected and untargetable, ideally. I just said screw it and beat him up quickly, doing the rest of his missions against him at level 10. It is important to modify the deck so that we can get down to 1000 life points safely again using Hieroglyph Lithograph. It would be a logistical nightmare to try for low life points and a fast win at the same time, in my opinion at least. So I'll be dueling him at level 10 twice to get this done. course, you could let him attack you, but since we don't need a lenient comeback victory and instead need to finish with low life points, letting him attack several times takes control away from you. We have a setup, and depending on what we draw, we might be able to get both missions here. We need Kite to unlock Quattro, Quinton and Mizar. The dream is dead. We would have needed a second Gravity Lash exactly. As we didn't get it, we say goodbye to a 7 turns win and focus on low life points. Also, I'll go ham just out of spite. At least we get our 2 XYZ summons in. That's something, and it means we got 2 of the 3 missions in one duel. Need to finish him off quickly in the next one. People, I just remembered that we finished the level 30 duel in 4 turns. Who is the biggest of all dummies? That would be me. 5 lights collected through various means and we're done with Kite's unlock. That leaves 9 characters in this world. Notice how I avoid using this world's name? Don't want to make you mad with my pronunciation. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon will be relevant, I promise. We just talked about him, so let's get him next. And here is Quattro. Coming up, as soon as we claimed all of these missions. That's embarrassing. And I feel so sorry. Anyways, so let's unlock Quattro next. Shark comebacks him at level 30 and summons number 32. He beats Quattro with water monsters only before Kite summons 2 level 8 or higher dragons against him and Yuma summons 4 warriors in a single duel against Quattro. As Yuma was the character I had selected previously, we might as well go for his missions first. With our skill, which I'm going to talk about during Trey's unlock, we can overlay 2 level 4 monsters into number 39, which is a warrior, and then summon number C39 on top of Utopia, that is another warrior. If Utopia's materials are both level 4 warriors, we get this done in practically no time. And just to be safe, I packed this deck full of level 4 warriors because, knowing me, I'd be able to somehow mess this up otherwise. In case you're wondering, putting number C39 on top of number 39 is treated as an XYZ summon because that's what's stated on number C39, the card itself. So, can we finish this duel now, footage me? Of course we can. Or can we? Dude, just attack him. Man, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. But of course we can finish the duel now. 4 missions left. Who is going to get a shot at him next? Kite or Reginald? Kite. In theory, we could summon Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon twice in this duel to give Kite 1 lifetime skill while summoning 2 out of 10 level 8 or higher dragons for another lifetime skill. Other high-level dragons like Stardust, Red Dragon Archfiend and Stardust Spark work just fine. You could also be funny and play Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is what I'm doing. Level 10 Quattro is our difficulty of choice to make this as easy and cheap as possible. Cheap in the sense of gate key usage. I didn't watch the anime, so I don't know why Kite and Quattro would have beef. It would be helpful to know, I guess, and I should pick the series up. Until now I was just like, the mission says do that, so I'm doing that. But the missions don't really have depth or meaning to me. When it comes to Photon or Galaxy decks, I do not have the faintest idea of how they operate. If you were to make the best possible deck with them and give it to me, I would still lose to the easiest opponent. Since I'm unfamiliar with the archetype or archetypes, to me the Galaxy and Photon stuff comes across as being absurdly complicated. However, once I actually spend time to learn a deck like this, I figure it won't be that complicated anymore. A lesson that can be applied to life as well. Now, Shark has to put in some work. We want the water-only win first and challenge Quattro at level 10. For this mission it is not enough to summon only water monsters, but you also need to build your deck in a certain way. The main and extra deck are not allowed to contain any other attribute, or else the duel doesn't count. Another thing that doesn't count is if your number 32 Shark Drake detaches and summons a monster from Quattro's graveyard, as the game will treat this as you summoning that monster, even though it's not in your deck list. My water pool is rather shallow, and I did not dare to combine this mission with a level 30 comeback, instead going for this additional level 10 duel to be safe. However, the comeback is next. The biggest danger stems from his extra deck monster number 15 Gimmick Puppet Giant Grinder, which has 2500 defense, effect damage and the ability to punish my XYZ monsters, as long as it has materials. He can revive it, but then it does not have materials anymore and can be handled. Besides Giant Grinder, nothing in level 30 Quattro's deck strikes me as a serious threat. Once we set up a life point situation, we have to bring it home. No Jaguar yet because of the piercing damage. Wait on it for the last turn, if at all. I was feeling mildly comfortable when letting him attack me, as I was convinced that level 30 Quattro would not be able to finish me in one turn. Still a risky method, this open arm strategy, as it does not always work, especially not against level 30 opponents. Spike Shield would give us enough power to go for game, but number 32 Shark Drake proved to be too much on its own. You can let Reginald win a few more duels with a water-only deck to give him a lifetime skill. And make sure you summon number 32 Shark Drake in each of them for another lifetime skill. Pick apart some easy standard duelists and the skills are yours. The water duel against Quattro would count for Bastion Misawa's unlock, as I already mentioned in the specific section of the GX video. Quattro done, the next character we want to unlock is Trey. Yuma stomps him at level 30 with number C39 Utopia Ray. XYZ summons twice in one duel against Trey, beats him with 1000 or less life points remaining, activates 2 traps in one duel and uses an equip spell card. Back in the day, summoning number C39 Utopia Ray without having the card itself used to be quite a task, as the skill that added Utopia Ray did not add Utopia. Without your own copy of Utopia, you were in for a treat. It also didn't help that I wanted the low life point win in the same level 30 duel. Times have changed. If Yuma summons his number 39 a total of 20 times, you can claim his lifetime skill Zexal Ultimate Unite, which adds Utopia and Utopia Ray to your extra deck. Once you summon your generic number 39, you can XYZ summon number C39 on top of it, clearing the 2 XYZ summons in one trade duel along the way. If you bust Utopia Ray out 10 times in total, there is a lifetime skill waiting for you, Zexal Lion Arms. If you want to summon number C39 without Utopia, you need to use 3 level 4 light monsters as materials. In this duel we focus on the Utopia Ray finish and the 2 XYZ summons, going for the 1000 life point mission in a separate duel. I did not summon Utopia Ray immediately to keep Utopia's attack negation around a little longer. Once we beat him, we can change the deck to make the 1000 life points mission possible. I'm not worried about the other 2 missions at all. Activating an equip spell against the standard duelist seems doable. When it comes to activating 2 traps in one duel, we got that covered in the next character unlock, Anna Kaboom. In a duel against her, Yuma will have to play 4 traps, therefore we don't need to go out of our way for Trey. By the way, if Yuma wins 3 duels with 2500 or less life points remaining, he'll get the skill Destiny Draw Monster Reborn. However, if he wins 3 duels with 1000 or less life points remaining, you can grab the skill Zexal Weapon. This one Trey mission here contributes to 2 lifetime skills. Speaking of lifetime skills, Trey can get some as well. They recently added Chronomal Hope for him that you get after summoning 3 rank 4 or higher lights with Trey. The other one is Orichalcon Chain. Trey shatters Yuma with number 6 Chronomal Atlantis, a generic rank 6 monster. That makes Trey one of 6 characters that get a lifetime skill for detonating Yuma in style. The others are Reginald, Kite, Anna, Girag and Alito using their respective ace monsters. Reginald and Kite also need to take a few L's, for example, Ryu is hard focused on humiliating Sharky, and then there is Bronk who does not have beef with anybody. By the way, number C39 Utopia Ray from the previous duel makes a return in Alito's unlock. That whole unlock is something else, as you are going to see. On the note of unlocks, once we have Trey, 7 characters remain in this world, ignoring event characters like always, and Yuma is only needed for some of them. Reginald and especially Kite need to do a lot of the heavy lifting once the time comes. When we leave duels for the traps and the one equip spell against anybody aside, Trey was unlocked after 2 duels. I'm okay with that, even though I dragged out the second one. That probably wasn't so necessary. Moving on to our next character, and that would be Anna Kaboom. And I mentioned the 4 traps mission already, so if we unlock her first or go for that mission first, we can get Trey after that mission. Yuma defeats her at level 30, summons a rank 3 or higher XYZ monster against Anna. We deal 6000 points of effect damage to her, activate 4 traps in one duel against Anna, and summon 3 monsters. We are going to duel her at level 30, summon 2 level 4 monsters, and overlay into an XYZ monster like Utopia. Beating her then ticks off 3 missions already. We could try to use 4 traps in that duel or hold off on that until we apply the Vessel farm against her at level 10. We could even do the XYZ summon and 3 monster summons in the Vessel duel as well, just focusing on defeating her at level 30 as fast as we can. Vessel farming against a level 30 opponent is not something I would like to do, even though we did it with Alexis against Blair, so it is possible to get all 5 Anna missions done in a single duel, but I personally prefer splitting them into 2 duels. You do it the way you want to do it, and if you want it all in one duel, you need Gravekeeper's Vessel and Union Attack. Maybe anti-magic arrows. That's just 3 cards. Furthermore, 5 traps, as you need to activate 4 of them, a few monsters and an XYZ monster. Some protection to make sure you win this, and you're good to go. I'm not brave enough for a 1 duel unlock, so it's a 2-parter for me. Actually, 3-parter because I did not activate 4 traps in either of them. I then dueled her again at level 10 without recording. You'll only see 2 duels here, but it took me 3. Here I'm still trying to get the 4 traps in against her at level 30. Unlike the Aporia unlock, I did not map out the duels against Anna in a clear way, trying for stuff, being unsure, messing up. I simply did not commit to missions in a specific duel. Or maybe I did. Maybe I activated 4 traps in this duel and just misremembered. In my head, there is one instance of not activating the required amount of cards in one duel, needing a repeat. It might have been Anna or someone else. I'm writing the script for all of the videos and have been on this for a while. It's been quite a long time since I finished recording, so I forgot certain things. We won against her at level 30, summoned 3 monsters, and brought out a rank 3 or higher monster. Only 3 traps. Had I kept Carrot in defense, I could have baited a normal summon to use Floodgate Trap Hole on. The irony is that I changed the deck to be trap heavy, and then I give it away right at the end. Let's swap decks and Vessel farm till it's time for dinner. This deck will not be able to do the 4 trap activations. You've seen me use a bunch of traps before, especially against level 10 opponents. So when I noticed that I was still missing the trap mission, I did it against level 10 Anna without recording. Honestly, you're not missing out on anything there. I did not use magic or 300 IQ plays, and the simple duel would have taken 3 or 4 more minutes away from you. I almost had it in the level 30 duel, so it's not like you haven't seen the theory of it. In this duel I'm not overly aggressive, which might be a mistake, as she can tribute 2 of her monsters for Knight Express Knight, which has 3000 attack and defense. When it comes out, I have to shut it down immediately. Funny how the easiest mission turned into the biggest obstacle because I messed it up. I would like to repeat the level 30 duel and replace the clip you just saw with it, but that would be a moron move, as I told you before. I want to be honest to you, even if it means looking like an idiot. Not everything goes perfect and mistakes happen. I've done these unlocks numerous times and still stumble every once in a while. If it happens, I get angry at myself just for a moment. Then I shrug it off and move on. In a repeat duel, I make sure to clear the mission that I blew earlier, and then it's all good. If a mistake happens to you, you can try to make up for it. As long as nobody was harmed, we all have the ability to learn from our mistakes, to not repeat them. And this is just a game, so who cares? Don't fret over anything that happens in this game. It would not be worth it. Back in the day I used to beat myself up over certain mistakes which took away the fun from the game. To be fair, that was a me problem and not so much the game's fault. Ever since then I matured and turned into a decent human being. Character growth is a part of human life, and if a game of all things contributed to that, so be it. What's not so great about the current situation is that I don't show all of it, ruining the guideline sort of nature while giving you the impression of missing out on something. Even if it's just something as minor as activating a few traps. But then again, I only showed 1 duel of each 3 duel mission in the past, constantly taking content away from you. For me, it was important to show major things like summoning elemental hero Neos 3 times in one duel against Duel at level 30. Baby missions or duplicate duels were not too important to me. In the end, it will be an incomplete guideline, and even if the trap card mistake against Anna didn't happen, it would still be incomplete. If any of you is playing along on a new or maybe the first account, you probably won't need me to show you certain things. After all, figuring stuff out by yourself is also fun. As you're going to see, the missions for our next character are fairly straightforward and nothing anyone needs to figure out. Unfortunately, this is one of the last easy stage 6 characters in this world. The rest requires a moderate amount of thinking and the use of a few new cards. To unlock Rio, Reginald has to get a comeback victory, perform 3 XYZ summons in one duel and deal 2300 points of damage with one attack, all against Rio at level 30. Reg also duels anyone, activating 3 traps and 3 spells each in a single duel. When going up against Quattro, I let Reginald activate 3 spell and trap cards, so those have been completed. And the rest can be done in just one duel against Rio at level 30. Her XYZ monster Ice Beast Zero Fine can negate face-up cards and then it gains attack points. You could prevent that by playing non-effect monsters like Insect Knight or Angel Trumpeter and no continuous spell or trap cards. When it comes to the comeback, I rely on the good old open arms strategy to decrease my life points. A low defense monster prevents me from taking too much damage. The first of the 3 XYZ monsters that I should summon is number 32 Shark Drake, because it requires 3 materials and we would not have enough space for those if summoning it last. Kachi Kochi Dragon and Dark Rebellion are the other ones I need to summon in this duel. Dark Rep's 1 attack and Kachi's 2 attacks can clear the field when the time comes, so that Shark Drake hits her for 2800 points of direct damage, which would be the final mission. In the meantime, we keep an eye on the life point situation to not ruin the comeback. Duck Dummy cannot be attacked while it has its Gemini effect, but we would be able to attack her directly. With the comeback in mind, I don't want the direct attacks right now. The spell cards in my deck are 1 Arrival and 2 copies of Gravity Lash. It would be possible to go for the 3 spells unlock mission in this duel. My usual trap lineup consists of a Mirror Force and 3 Spike Shields. 3 trap activations are also possible in this duel. Kachi and Dark Rep are summoned frequently with my usual deck, and number 32 Shark Drake is added to the extra deck with a starting skill, requiring any 3 level 4 monsters. If I put the skill on my regular deck, I can let Reginald unlock Rio in just one duel without changing anything about my standard deck. Today, that wouldn't be necessary as the spell and trap missions are done already. I seemingly messed up the comeback victory, but don't worry, I can fix that. One method would be Gravity Lash that I can use to weaken my own monster before running into hers. Another method is just summoning my level 4 monsters in attack position and let her run over them. You seeing this clip means I was in fact able to fix the comeback. The battle damage also works if she runs into a defender of mine while I have my 2 Spike Shields. Dark Rebellion shifts attack points around, and that means we got it. No spell or trap cards that would ruin our plans. It was a carefree last attack. What a shame that it took me so long. A very important aspect about this unlock besides Rio herself is the card A Feather of the Phoenix from her starter deck that you saw in action during the GX unlocks. That should leave 5 characters: Quinton, Girag, Alito, Mizar, and Tori. So, who's next? That would be Girag, I guess. This guy requires some setup, although not as much as Mizar. Yuma has to beat him 3 times at level 30. He also summons a rank 5 or higher warrior XYZ monster. Yuma deals 2000 points of effect damage to anyone, hits Girag with 3000 attack points, and we summon 3 beast monsters against Girag. The obvious problem is a rank 5 warrior monster. There is one on the lifetimes list, Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. This one is obtained after Yuma summoned a total of 2 rank 5 or higher XYZ monsters. For me, there were 2 options: Odd Eyes Raging Dragon and Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. If you special summon 10 dragons in total in Arc 5 World, you can claim Odd Eyes Raging Dragon from the lifetimes list. It requires 2 level 7 dragons as materials. You can obtain more copies of it from the card trader. The second option, Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, is needed for some unlocks in this world, and I'm going to get it soon with a Yora Dream ticket. Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray requires any 3 level 5 monsters. Yami Yugi's level up reward Curse of Dragon comes to mind. Armed Dragon level 5 from the Sartorius unlock mission, Sylvan Lotus Swan from opening Rampage of the Forest, Link Slayer from a structured deck, Legendary Fisherman from Mako's starter deck, and Quick Draw Synchron from the Stardust Nexus are level 5 monsters I had access to. By this time I had spent a lot of time in Arc 5 World pendulum summoning my way through missions, dropping dragons onto the field frequently. Once I had Odd Eyes Raging Dragon, I put it and my 2 Red Eyes Black Dragons into Yuma's deck to XYZ summon it twice. Thus I was able to obtain Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. Let's talk about the rest of his missions. Beating him 3 times at level 30 is annoying, resource intense and probably stupid, but it is not difficult. Just beat him. 2000 points of effect damage were dealt against Anna when Yuma Vessel farmed for her unlock. High damage at once is a job Obelisk was made for, and you have plenty of other options. The beast monsters were from the Odd Eyes Challenger structure deck, Performable Silverclaw from leveling up Yuma and Voltic Kong as a Tristan drop reward, as well as a rare card ticket. And Alligator Sword from Joey, I guess. I put them into my deck to summon the beasts against him at level 20, as he had spawned in the world, and I thought it would be good to get the missions done for free. I also have a few level 5 monsters to show off the summon of a rank 5 or higher Warrior XYZ monster, which of course will be Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray. While I wait on more level 5 monsters to draw, Link Slayer can help a lot with its ability to destroy Girag's back row. I have to be careful with Salamangreat Jaguar, as its piercing damage can obliterate his life points before I summon Leo. The high damage can be enabled by slapping 1 Spike Shield on Gaia Saber and letting it attack directly after the field has been cleared by my other monsters. We took care of so many high damage missions that it should not cause problems anymore. Assuming we summon Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray and 3 beast monsters before dealing 3000 points of damage with 1 attack, only 3 duels against him at level 30 would be left, and I'd handle 2 of those off screen. That was rude, he just destroyed my guy. Gaia Saber, but my damage! Past me better has a plan B. We have 1 turn left to make something happen, or more if he keeps adding his trap card each turn. Compared to Quinton, Alito and maybe Mizar, Girag's missions are surprisingly tame. There is a reason as to why there is so much video left. I changed my deck back to normal after this duel, and then we challenged Girag at level 30. Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray was plan B all along. Girag's ace monster is number 106 Giant Hand, a generic rank 4. He gets a lifetime skill for summoning it 3 times in total. If one of those happens to be against Yuma, defeating him with number 106, we get another lifetime skill for Girag. This level 30 duel was recorded much later, as I forgot to put in any footage of me destroying level 30 Girag. Deck is the same as always. He employs the help of some 6 samurai monsters to annoy me to hell and back, but luckily there is no Grandmaster. The 3 level 30 duels against Girag were all fast ones and went down a similar way to this one, so you were not missing out on anything regardless. However, to stick to my formula, I had to show you 1 duel. My initial mistake when cutting the footage was assuming that the first duel against him with Utopia Ray and the Beasts was a level 30 duel, when he in fact was a level 20 opponent. When reviewing the footage and writing the script, I noticed the mistake and decided to record one, even though it did not happen during the actual unlock itself. Which, according to my philosophy, is fraud. I did not do it on purpose though. Anyways, on to the next character, and who might that be? It's the guy with the rank 9, in fact number 9 Dyson Sphere, and that would be Quinton. Quinton is also the first character that we unlock with the help of Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. So we need to get the card as well. Anyways, let's look at Quinton's missions. Kite has to beat him at level 30. We use 2 spells in 1 duel. Kite summons Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and beats him with it. Finally, Kite wins against Quinton with 1000 or less life points remaining. So who is this Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon guy and how do we get it? It's a rank 8 and I am going to use it quite a bit. There was the 2500 Days of Duel Links campaign going on, gracing us with a bingo sheet. By finishing said sheet, we get a UR Dream ticket. I used that one on good old Neo Galaxy. I kept the bingo sheet until this point, instead of claiming the ticket beforehand, to show it to you in this video. In my opinion, it's good if people can follow the steps rather than feeding them the results alone. Back in the day, when we had our math exams, we would get points for showing our calculations even if the result was wrong. Also, there is this idiom in movie business, show, don't tell. When it comes to this bingo sheet, I don't have the faintest idea of how long the campaign will go on for. After checking, I can tell you that it's only until the end of September 24. That time likely passed when you watch this. Not to worry though, as you should have a few more your dream tickets. I haven't used any of my dream tickets except for this one. You can use Kite's lifetime skill XYZ Galaxy to add a Neo to your extra deck, if you have some Galaxy monsters to utilize the skill. Besides that, you could sink your gems into the main box Eternal Stream, which I don't necessarily recommend. If you have some character unlock tickets, you might use one to forgo the need for Neo. I personally don't approve of this, as Neo is needed for Mizar's unlock and helps in Arc 5 World when unlocking Dennis McField. About Neo Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon itself, the effect only matters if one of its materials is Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon, which most of the time won't be the case for me. It requires 3 level 8 dragons, and I usually summon it with my 3 Synchros or Blue Eyes White Dragons. Besides all of that, it has a whopping 4500 attack to deal with most of the stuff NPCs can throw at me. Seeing how difficult it will be for me to summon it, I'd rather do this against level 10 Queenie and challenge him at level 30 with my regular deck later. We could also go for 1000 life points and 2 spell activations in this duel. If we do that and beat him with Neo, we cleared 4 missions in one duel. Wouldn't that be nice? Also in this duel, Kite will summon at least 4 level/rank 8 or higher dragons, 4 out of 10, which he would need for a lifetime skill. Kite has 2 more skillers to get by summoning Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon twice in one duel and obliterating Yuma with it. At this point in time, I did not have my Synchros yet, relying on Blue Eyes and the Galaxy Eyes from Kite's starting skill. I had to put a monster in my extra monster zone as tribute material for one of the dragons, otherwise I would not be able to play 3 level 8 main deck dragons at once unless I make use of something like Monster Reborn. Tributing one from the extra monster zone is something I do on a regular basis, for example when summoning Blue Eyes 30 times with DSOD Seto or tossing Destiny Hero Plasma from Esther onto the field. That one also is 30 times. I don't like to do it, but sometimes the game state makes it necessary. We activate Hieroglyph to decrease our own life points, and it happens to be a spell card, so it helps with another one of Quinton's missions. Time has come for a new Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon to hit the field and win me the game. Gravity Lash for another spell activation, and we are good to go. That means Kite now only has to punch him at level 30 to complete the unlock. Quinton's starter deck comes with a copy of Ghost Ship, a light attribute fiend-type monster that you can summon a few times to get yourself a lifetime skill, Contract Fabled. So you don't have to spend resources chasing after more light fiend monsters. Ghost Ship is your budget option. It's a level 5 that has to be special summoned by banishing a light from your graveyard, a condition that can be met easily. And if you don't yet have 300 light summons for each Jesus unlock, you can work towards that as well. We are dealing with level 30 Quinton right now, and so far didn't have a problem with him. Certain level 30 characters are out for blood, but Quinton just wants you to have a good time, and I appreciate it. With him beaten, we cleared all of his unlock missions in just 2 duels. Alito, Mizar and Tori will be left after this duel, I think. Tori will be a nice finish to this world's unlocks. Mizar is mildly annoying, and for Alito I have to prepare a little something. Also, Battle and Boxer Boy requires some thinking. And then there is Dumon. He had his first unlock event, which will be repeated in a month or 2, taking about the same amount of time to be added to the gate, so maybe he comes at the end of the year 2024. And by that point I hope to have released these videos. No need to worry about Dumon right now. Instead, we focus on the next actual unlock, being Alito. Yuma beats him 3 times at level 30, summons Utopia Ray, wins with 500 or less life points left, and summons a rank 1 against him. We also show him a counter trap. This one looks complicated. 3 level 30 wins are fine, as is the summon of number C39 Utopia Ray. For the first time we have to win with 500 or less life points left, which seemingly requires a lot of precision. And even with this done, we need a rank 1 monster we don't yet have. To top it off, our counter trap card pool is shallow at best. The rank 1 monster I settled on was Baby Tiragon, which I get from a super rare card ticket. It is sort of generic, but requires 3 level 1 monsters. Summoning it might be rough. The level 1 monsters I'll be using are the ones with the highest defense in my possession. Protector with Eyes of Blue from the friend code Blue Eye structure deck is one of those, as it has 1300 defense. Also special summonable stuff like Boost Warrior would help. I recommend doing the rank 1 500 life points and counter trap mission against him at level 10, which would allow you to combine those and is way better for your health than cramping those in against him at level 30. This means I do the level 30 duels afterwards, unlocking Alito in 4 duels, of which I show 2. That's not too bad. When it comes to low life points and the counter trap, we do what we did in previous missions. Against Pegasus, my counter trap of choice was Goblin out of the Frying Pan, which you can get from the card trader. Its activation costs 500 life points and it negates a spell. You activate a hieroglyph and pay the 1000 for cost, negate it with Goblin and bounce it back after paying 500 more. Use hieroglyph again for 1000 life points and you're down by 2500 already. Play one of the remaining 2 hieroglyphs and you are sitting at 500 life points with the counter trap activation taken care of already. That's easy. I chose to summon Utopia because it can negate attacks, protecting my level 1 monsters. When going into Shark Fang for water monsters, we could have pulled the normal rarity rank 1, number 56 Golden Red. It, like Baby Tiragon, requires 3 level 1 monsters but would have saved us a super rare ticket. Or we could have gone into the worthwhile box Soulflare Lightning for number 13 Embodiment of Crime and number 31 Embodiment of Punishment, that are 2 material monsters. However, Baby Tiragon is the one you are guaranteed to have access to, and therefore it's one of the more well-known options. And suddenly, Alito's missions don't look so impossible anymore. I think we should end this duel soon. With all of that nonsense done, all that's left is to beat him at level 30 3 times. You'll see one of those and the rest is basically already done. I remember that I had been on 2 level 30 Alito wins for a few days straight, waiting for him to come to the world as a spawn. It did not happen until I lost patience and punched him through the gate. I just wanted to save some gate keys, man. Dennis McField was event exclusive, but they recently added him to the gate and he, too, needs to be deleted several times at level 30. That's content for the next video though. Today I tried to make the thumbnails for these videos and I'm not good at that crap, as you can tell. These ones were a spontaneous idea and initially I was going for something different. Since I did not use any images but created those myself, in Paint by the way, because I can't use anything else, I shouldn't not get copyright claimed for them. This is also the reason as to why I'm not using background music, just like in the Character Collection Challenge video. I'm not someone who puts out content like crazy, and I'll never be, and I haven't had copyright issues so far, but better safe than sorry. For as bad as these videos are, when they are taken down, they don't help anyone. Anyways, with Alito unlocked, we can move on. The next one is Mizar. Kite annihilates level 30 Mizar 3 times, summons Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, summons Neo Galaxy Eyes, you summon a rank 8 or higher, and 5 dragons, all against Mizar. So Neo makes a return, but that's not a bad thing as it helps with 2 other Mizar missions. You see, it is a rank 8 monster, but it's also a dragon. It requires 3 level 8 dragons as materials, so if you summon it with Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as material and play 1 low-level dragon like Lightstar Dragon from the Stardust Nexus structure deck, we clear 4 of Mizar's missions in 1 duel. For me, this guy was a world spawn at level 20. Not ideal, but I chose to take the opportunity. For tactical reasons, I summon Kachi into an extra monster zone so that I can tribute it later on to have 3 level 8 main deck dragons on the field. I should have used Jaguar as material, as its piercing damage depletes his life points too fast for my liking. On the other hand, I have to attack to stay in control. The level 8 dragons of choice are the Blue Eyes once again, because I don't seem to have my trusty synchros at this point. and one dragon that is not my choice but a mandatory part of the unlock is Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, added to my deck by Kite's starting skill. Besides all of this, I basically do it all the same way as during the Quinton unlock, just having a few low-level dragons in there as well. If you feel like it, you could even fusion summon level 8 dragons and overlay with them. But there aren't many, and summoning those might be more effort than just summoning a Blue Eyes. I don't think I even have one single level 8 dragon fusion on this account. Amulet Dragon probably, but that is too specific for our regular deck. You can make Neo Galaxy with level 8 dragon synchros as shown in the 5Ds video. However, I think level 8 main deck dragons like the Blue Eyes are more accessible to a new player, and they are free. What I don't like here is the lack of back row to protect me, so we should wrap this one up. We got the 5 dragons, Galaxy Eyes, rank 8 and Neo Galaxy Eyes. Technically, we don't need to win the duel, as just summoning all of those was what the missions wanted us to do. The situation would be different if we, for example, had to beat Mizar with Neo Galaxy Eyes, but that's not the case. As long as we don't surrender or close the game, we will clear the 4 missions. Then only one remains before we can unlock him. That one, of course, is beating Mizar 3 times at level 30 with Kite. Seeing that level 20 Mizar was unable to do anything against our changed deck, I don't consider him to be a threat against the regular deck. How about we see whether he makes me regret my words? Some time passed and he showed up in the world. That was mighty convenient. 2 of these have already been done off screen and we get him after this one. We don't need to do anything special like getting a comeback victory or whatever. We just need to win. So let's do that. I don't mean to disrespect Mizar despite the stuff I said earlier. I think he is alright and I would not mess with him at level 40. Level 30 Mizar is not an auto-win, but also not impossible. I appreciate his mission's difficulty or lack thereof, and after exposing myself to Zexal, I came to like him. A single character remains, but their unlock does not have any difficulty to it. In fact, the more difficult part is to make their mission appear in the first place, as we need to get to stage 10 first. And yes, it's only one mission. You see, when we hit stage 10, Tori appears, literally. Independent from our current legendary spawn, level 10 Tori will show up and can be dueled for free. No gate keys required, and you probably won't have any issues taking down a level 10 opponent at this point. ArcV and Vrain's World treat you to similar freebies. After all the tasks we had to complete, I take those. To give you a brief recap of this world's unlocks, getting the world itself was simple. Yuma with his starting skill to summon Utopia helped a lot, and most unlocks were fine. The cards we needed found multiple uses, with the exception of Baby Tiragon, the rank 1 for Alito. But I had so many super rare tickets that I didn't care. I did care about the fact that there was no hidden character to get. Very much appreciated. To sum up, this world and its unlocks were pure joy. Something I knew beforehand and thus was looking forward to. After finally unlocking Tori, I want to show you the character wheel as proof that we have all of them, at least until Dumon and more characters come to the world. The next video will of course be about ArcV World. With this, we're done here. Thank you so much for watching.